Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. Welcome to part 2 of how to read a panel when you're doing your paint protection film installation series that we're doing here. So we got this Honda Pilot right here. We're going to be doing this front fender on the passenger side. Now in this video I'm going to go over how to properly read the panel so you know how to do your paint protection film installation. Kind of like what I said in the first video where we did the hood. Most of these principles you can take and use these same principles on any kind of vehicle. One thing I have found with pre-cut patterns, whether it's been XPEL patterns, core patterns, film and vinyl designs patterns, or any of the other softwares out there, is that these patterns, when it comes to fenders, these patterns are designed to be installed from the back all the way to the front. So that means on this panel, for example, we're going to be starting over here in the back, up over here, right around, right by the mirror in this chrome trim. We're going to start here. We're going to work our way down to the very bottom of the fender, and then we're going to work our way all the way forward. And I'm going to show you how the film is designed to stretch into place. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, so we've got the PPF, it's on the panel. We've got a bunch of slip solution underneath there, so it's very easy to maneuver around. So where we're gonna start right here in this back corner. So I'm just gonna get my tack solution. And I'm just gonna line that up right where I think it needs to be, which is gonna be right there. That down. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come around and we're just going to get this piece up top here. Just going to properly line that up. There we go. That's good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take and squeegee everything down up top here and work my way around till here. That's good. Now we're going to follow the back edge of the panel all the way down to the bottom. So just going to line this all up. Just going to get a little bit of tack solution in there. And then I'm going to take the squeegee and I'm going to run right along that edge. And that's good. Now we're going to come down to here. Just going to line this up and then I'm going to tack it into place. I added a bit of an extended edge on here just because there's a big gap there that the pre-cut template didn't wrap into, and I just figured I could wrap into that, but that's irrelevant for this video. So right now all I'm doing is just squeegeeing down right along this edge because everything is all perfectly lined up, and that's good. Next area we're going to go to is going to be actually right up over here. Now you can see, Nix, how much of a gap we have here between the PPF and that corner. So there's actually going to have to be a little bit of stretching to get that into place. But before I stretch, you're going to notice I'm trying to get as much of the air pockets out just by massaging them down with my hand. That's going to make the film a whole lot easier to get into place there. Small stretch. There we go. Now, before I get too carried away, what we are going to do is we're going to get everything stretched out to the front. Now, you can see right here how much stretch we have to do to get that into place. We've got a full inch and a bit over here that we need to actually stretch the PPF just to get it to line up. And as you can see, we got some fingers over here, we got some fingers down here, but as I stretch it, as I stretch it, watch what happens to those fingers. Those fingers all disappear and the film just lays down perfectly flat. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna get my tack solution in here. I'm just gonna take my hands, I'm gonna have my hands further apart when I stretch. I'm gonna hold that there for a bit, and the tack is gonna slowly let that bite into place. I'm gonna squeegee that down. Now what I'm gonna do, because this is my first reference point since moving from the back to the front, what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take my fingers, run it along the panel, and I'm gonna push the air out that I can. Make sure everything's good. You can actually see by me stretching the film into place right over here, the film actually just naturally lays down perfectly right over here in this corner, which is pretty cool. But I did notice we have a hair underneath the film over here that I need to get out. So, and I got it. We're gonna have to redo this process all over again. So I have my slip solution in there. All I'm gonna do is just massage that down into place. Hit that with some tack solution. Slight stretch, just to get that down. Now I know that everything is basically lined up over here, so I'm ready to tack that down. That's good. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I've got this whole section over here. You can see the PPF is laying perfectly flat. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna squeegee this down, but I'm gonna squeegee with this body line. And I'm gonna have my squeegee angled so that all the solution is moving upwards. And I'm pushing that all into the engine bay. There we go. That's perfect. We got that part down. Now we need to take care of everything else. Cut. Okay, so now we have the back part of the fender down and we got the entire top part of the fender down. We have to take care of the majority that's left in the middle and over here at the front. Now, as you can see, the film naturally is starting to pull itself up over here. And we got a big finger there, we got a finger here, and we got a finger there that we're gonna have to work out. So because of the curve of this fender, what I wanna do is I'm actually gonna take and stretch the PPF into place right over here. So as I do this, watch what happens with the film there. It flattens itself out and it basically puts itself right into place. So that's one thing. If I were to get the PPF into place here first, look what it does. It creates a much sharper finger, which is gonna be a lot harder to get down. And then I'm gonna have a big gap over here on the bottom. So big thing about doing this fender is just knowing where you need to stretch to get the film to lay down flat. So I'm gonna pull the film back, get my tack solution in there, and I'm just gonna stretch the film, and I'm gonna rotate it. Hold that there with my hand, even though my hand is slipping, and I'm just gonna follow it up with the squeegee just to lock that down into place. And that's good. Now this is all down. I mean, I have a very small finger I have to work with, but that's fine. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna push the film up and stretch that into place. Just like that. Now I can get everything down right along that edge. That's good. Now these little fingers, this is absolutely nothing to be concerned about. I'm just gonna get my tack solution in there. And I'm just gonna squeegee those down at an angle in a sawing motion, and those fingers are going to stay down. The reason that these fingers are popping up is because we still have too much slip solution in them and not enough tack solution, but now I got that all taken care of. Now I'd say the hardest parts of this bumper are over and done with. The best part is to come, where all we need to do is just squeegee out all the solution. So I'm going to start right over here. All I'm going to do is take, squeegee straight down, right up to that body line, down, overlapping squeegee strokes to make sure that I'm not leaving any moisture behind. Coming all the way to the back here. Good. Now with this body line, instead of squeegeeing over it, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my squeegee and I'm going to come along just above it with my squeegee angled downwards, and it's actually going to push all the solution over that body line. And I'm just going to run with that body line one more time. Just like so. These body lines, like I mentioned in the hood video, you don't really want to squeegee over them when they're super sharp. You actually want to squeegee with them. So instead of coming over like that, you want to squeegee with them like that, and it's just going to prevent any issue with film distortion. For example, if you don't have enough solution underneath the film, what can happen is it can start to look like there's dry spots there. But when you're squeegeeing with and you're pushing the solution over, but not in a manner that's like super aggressive, that just works out really, really well. So squeegee with, don't squeegee over. So I know I mentioned earlier in this video how I added an extended edge here. This black trim is actually a little bit warped. So all I'm gonna do is just gonna flush this out with tack solution. And then I'm just going to take and squeegee that down and get that film into that gap. And there we go. That is a done fender. All we have left to do is wrap the edges, but I'm not going to go over that not in this video. But just to kind of recap with this fender, any fender that you're installing with a pre-cut template, these fenders are meant to be installed from the back to the front. So find your starting points, your reference points in the back of the fender. Start there. For this situation with this Honda Pilot, we started here. We worked our way to the top. We came and followed ourselves all the way down along the back edge of the fender. And then we came up over here to this corner. We got that lined up, and then we stretched all the way forward. And we started over here, we stretched to this light. This laid down in place with really no work at all, or effort on our part. And then we rotated the film into place down on this bottom corner, and everything laid down nicely over here. So with fenders, work back to front, work with your body lines, try and not squeegee over them, squeegee with them, and fenders are going to be a whole lot easier to install for yourself. So I hope you guys found value in this video. If you did, leave a comment down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more paint protection film content.